Long ago, in the peaceful kingdom of Karik, there lived a young widow named Amara. But behind the beauty, Amara's life was filled with hardship. After losing her husband, she struggled every day to care for her little son. Their tiny mud hut was almost empty. They owned very little, yet Amara never lost hope. Every morning, she walked deep into the forest to gather firewood and wild vegetables so they could survive another day. One evening, dark clouds suddenly covered the sky. Heavy rain poured down as strong winds shook the tall trees. Amara hurried through the forest, carrying her bundle of firewood, praying she would reach home safely. As lightning flashed across the sky, an elderly woman dressed in flowing robes appeared on the lonely forest path. Her silver hair shone softly, and she leaned on a carved wooden staff. The old woman smiled kindly and placed an ancient bronze bracelet into Amara's hands. "The greatest gifts always carry the greatest price," she whispered before disappearing into the storm. Amara returned home holding the strange bracelet tightly. Her young son welcomed her with a hopeful smile. That night, inside their humble mud hut, Amara held the bracelet, closed her eyes, and quietly prayed for a better life. The next morning, sunlight entered the hut, revealing a large bag filled with shining gold coins beside her sleeping mat. Her prayer had been answered. Soon, Amara bought fresh food, better clothing, farming tools, and everything her family had long needed. Her small life began to change. She purchased farmland, hired workers, and built a magnificent compound with beautiful carved wooden doors. Before long, Amara became the richest woman in the kingdom of Karik. Her farms stretched across the land, producing abundant harvests while many workers earned their living under her leadership. But wealth slowly changed her heart. One night, inside her luxurious bedroom, Amara secretly held the glowing bracelet once again. She wished for even greater riches. Soon, grand feasts filled her mansion. Music echoed through the halls as honored guests admired her endless wealth. Then, one morning, everything began to change. While looking into her polished bronze mirror, Amara noticed a single gray hair. She froze. Within weeks, more wrinkles covered her face. Her body aged rapidly. Yet her little son remained young, healthy, and full of life. Fear filled Amara's heart. She visited the most respected traditional healer in the kingdom. Surrounded by herbs, calabashes, and ancient medicines, the healer examined her carefully. Finally, he shook his head. "I cannot explain this." Amara returned home in despair. Late that night, she sat alone inside her mansion, holding the glowing bracelet as tears rolled down her face. The mysterious old woman appeared once again. She stretched out her hand, and magical visions floated through the air. Amara watched countless glowing pages drift away into the darkness. Each page represented one day of her future. The old woman finally spoke. "Every wish you made was paid for with your own years of life." Amara collapsed in horror. Then the old woman offered one final choice. "You may keep your wealth and die soon. Or lose everything and live the life you still have." Without hesitation, Amara turned away from the riches. She wrapped her arms around her young son with love and relief. "I choose my family," she whispered. The old woman smiled. Before sunrise, Amara's mansion, her treasures, her jewelry, her farms, and every possession dissolved into glowing dust until nothing remained. Only Amara and her son stood together. When morning arrived, Amara looked into a bowl of clear water. Looking back at her was her own youthful face. She smiled through tears of joy. Although poor once again, she had been given back the greatest treasure of all: her life. Together, Amara and her son started over. They worked side by side on a small farm, planting crops with simple tools and grateful hearts. Years passed. Her son grew into a kind and honorable man. The day came when Amara proudly watched him marry a beautiful young woman in a joyful traditional village wedding. More years passed. Amara became a loving grandmother. Beneath the great Irako tree, she sat surrounded by laughing grandchildren, telling them the story of the mysterious bracelet and the dangerous price of greed. As the sun set over the peaceful kingdom of Karik, Amara's family walked together through golden farmland, rich not in gold, but in love. And everyone who heard her story remembered one simple truth. True wealth is not measured by gold or riches. True wealth is family, love, time, and the people who walk beside you.